I am so nervous. I have never been this nervous before, actually. There's an app? Oh wait, oh wait, oh wait. I will wait until the ad is done. Yeah. Stop. It's not a skill issue. I promise it's not a skill issue. Oh my god. You don't even have a sub. Okay. Okay. I hope everyone is back. Hello, hi, hello. I hope the ads are gone now. I don't want it to keep you guys away from the stream. Hello. I still got 10 seconds. Okay, I will wait. I got all the time. Don't worry. I have all day, every day to to be here. Hello, hello, friends. Hello. I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to my silly, very silly debut. And before I start reviewing myself, whoa, that sounds interesting. I want to say hi, Ampy. Hello, honey. Hi, Val. Hi, Val. Thank you for following. It's good to see you. Thank you, Azor, for checking in, and thank you, Val, again for checking in, as well as for Ampy and Sylvie, DeAndre. Hi, Wind, and hello, Trash, my wonderful child. And no, I will not be showing feet first. Fuck you. Just kidding. And hello, Lunar Chaos, my beloved goddess, and Kanulch. Hello, guys. It's good to see you. For those who don't know, you could see that there is a button in one of the redeems where you can check in. And now, you will know how many times you have checked in my mansion. How cool is that? Pinguino, hello. Hello, and thank you. Thank you, Pinguino. Oh, okay. That was not the button. Guys, that was not the button. The button is to redeem. Redeem check. Oh my goodness. I generally do not want to keep you guys waiting. Genuinely. So, and hi, EXO. Oh my god, EXO. Hi. Hello, EXO. Oh my gosh. Hello. My goodness. I love you guys. Hi. Hello, hi. I love you guys. No, there's no waiting. Fun fact, Sylvie, you're not the only person who lives, I guess, in Europe, because there are multiple people who would, I think, most people who, like, whose times are, like, 12 a.m. in the morning? Yeah, so, yeah, you know, it's already midnight. I have no excuse, because it's weekend. And I love weekend. And basically, yeah. Honestly, I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Maybe I can. Whoa, what's that? What the fuck? Those ears, whoa. The fuck? Europeans, we are here, and I'm struggling with you, don't worry. What the fuck? So jiggly. I'm so ears. And it's so colorful. It's pink, yellow, and blue, I guess. Baby blue. I don't know, neon blue? Whatever you guys can count it. And it's so good. Wow. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Whoa, that's my coral crown. Or accessory. I don't know what you guys are gonna call it. Coral crown. Wow. And you could see, oh, wait. You could see my tiny little hair. Like wiggly. Whoa. Ah. Oh. Hi. Hello. I hope you guys are happy to see me. I am peeking. I wonder what you're doing over there. You guys don't know how much I have worked on this model, and there is like so much freaking credit for those who helped me. Trust me, wait for the freaking presentation. I'm gonna give you guys a fucking lesson. Oh, okay. Whoa. Nose. Bunny nose. And I love bunny nose. Oh! I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Honestly, I'm impatient myself. What the fuck? I am impatient myself. Whoa. Now head is out. Whoa. How cool is that? I hope you guys like it. Let's see. Whoa. Wow. You can see like how wiggly things are right now. Whoa. Oh my god, I'm already showing the bust? How freaking cool is that? Whoa. Maybe there are other things that are jiggly, you know? It's not only my ears and my hair. Also, yeah. Hi. Oh, hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Yeah, there's hand tracking. I gotta, like, actually get my gloves away. Hello. Oh. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. Oh, I think that's most of my models shown. Guys, I'm like, actually, like, so freaking impatient. I can't. I'm just too excited, you know? I've worked on this, like, for a very long time. So, it also, excuse me if you, like, you see my hand, like, going up. Because, like, I'm fixing my freaking glasses. No, this is not this is not a 2D model. This is actually Viroid. It's Viroid. So yeah, I have worked really hard on this. Are you running off Warudo? Bing, ding, 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 ding. You got it right. It is Warudo. And it's so good. But yeah, thank you guys. Of course there is more to show, and some of the things are like actually like way funnier, trust me. But yeah, let's slowly go into the details of the model. Oh, what the fuck? That was not me. I promise, that was not me. So, let's see. Whoa. Dress, how cool is this? Of course, one of the challenges that I faced is that Viroid models are kind of hard to deal with. There are many things that I wanted, of course, to be 3D, but it is kind of impossible. So, like, most of the things, if not all, is drawn on, like, layers. And some things will be funny. Whoa. Okay, let me go back a bit. Whoa. That's dress. It is flowy, you know? But it gets too flowy when I start, like, dancing, which, unfortunately, I don't have a dance button right now, but I can, like, whoa, 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 whoa. So, you know, there is, like, flowiness, but it's, like, crazy flowy. I need to add, like, triangles into them, because if I start dancing, I swear to God, like, actually, like, it's gonna be kind of crazy. And I might show you guys. And whoa. Oh my god, somebody right here is like losing themselves right now. And my footsies. Well, why is no, I don't want arrows. Give me the arrows. Get that arrows away from me. I mean, it is helping, you know, to showcase. But, you know. You could see the inside of my dress. And, oh, swaying. Hello? Why is the alert box not working? Wait. Oh, why is the alert box not working? Where's the sound? Did it play the sound? No, it did not play. Wait. What's wrong? Hello, Shion. Thank you so much for following. Let me try and see what's wrong. What's the problem? Well, you guys look at my footsies for a second there. And thank you guys. Thank you. Let's test. Let me just do something really quickly. It's gonna be quite funny. Alice! Hello, Alice! And hi, Crisis! Oh my god, my children are here. Oh my god, most of my children are here. That's funny. There we go. Now, I wonder why I was not playing. Do not worry, there is nobody named Kevin that's following me. It was just a test. It's really weird. Yeah, finally it worked. Hi. Hello, children. Thank you, guys. Of course, let me go down a bit because, you know, there's other things to see. It's just not my, you know, not my foot. There's like things here, things down there. Oh my god, my hands are funny. Sorry. Allegedly. So basically there's like other things. Yeah, this is me, guys. This is me, and there's of course there's a lot of faces and other things. Hi, Radio. I love you guys so much. I'm like really glad that you guys are liking the model. Of course, there's like expressions that I gotta show, including like me being happy. That's how I feel right now. Thank you, guys. And there's me. I'm so angry. Oh my god. What the fuck? But no, I promise I'm not angry with you guys. I'm not. There is... Oh, guys. Why would you do this to me? Why? Thank you. Thank you, Radio. I'm gonna cry. And there's... Happy. Ding, 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 ding. Happy. Wow. And last but not least, which is one of my favorites, is... Yeah. Wow. What was that? Guys, don't do that again. Please. My goodness. Now I wonder, why the hell are the alert boxes not working? I swear.
Obligatory.
I swear. It's not disabling my... No, there we go. Now, I wonder why the alert boxes are not working. I really wonder. Let's see. They work? Oh, they work. Okay. They work. I'm just not listening to them. It is my stupid fault. Okay. I think I have... I'm sorry, guys. I think I don't have it like an input and output at the same time. I think that's why. Sorry. I was dumb. Sorry, guys. Sorry. My fault. I'm sorry. It was stupid me. There we go. Monitor and output. There we go. Now it should work. So I'm just stupid and I didn't know that it was actually working. So thank you guys again for letting me know that it's working. I thought I'm just deaf, I guess. But yeah. From 0 out of 10, how much do you guys like this model? And again, if you see me like do my hand like this, it means like I'm putting just like my glasses up because, oh, I can't see. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy. And don't worry, this is not the end of the debut. There's more. There's more coming. So like, sit down. There is a lot of things like I gotta show you guys. So, again, thank you guys for your sweet compliments. I am really, really happy. Whoa, Discord. Discord is not open. Is it like in streamer mode? Is it? The fuck? There we go. Now streamer mode is open. Well, but yeah, thank you again, guys, so much for, you know. Yeah. And also thank you, Knelch, for subscribing. I did not notice. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Unfortunately, gotta get back to work, but I'll see the VOD if it comes out. Of course, of course. Thank you. Oh, what the? Oh, hand. I promise. I'm not like putting you up. I promise. I'm not putting you up, hand. Just like. Also, like, look at this. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, it's kind of funny. Wow. Whoa. I'm drawing. Peace. Wow, 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 wow. I love the tracking. I think the tracking on the hands are like quite good. But yeah, thank you, Trash, for tuning in, and I hope you and wish you the best of luck with work because my goodness, I know some of you are in work, unfortunately. That's okay. And focus on work. Yeah. Have a good rest of the debut. Thank you, Trash. Don't worry. Of course, don't worry. All right. Do we think that we're ready for the presentation? I don't want to keep you guys waiting. And some of them, some of you really do have like a bed waiting for you to eat. Some of you do have a very late time zone, you know? You, Sylvie, and others, including me, unfortunately. Which, you know, kind of a bummer. That. Oh, hand, I promise, I did not put you up. I don't know where that came from. I need to. No, it's not like I'm not calling you out. I promise I'm not calling you out. So give me 1 second so I won't like annoy you guys with my hands. Whoa. Don't worry about that. Okay. I think we're good. Yeah. Alright. So, let me... Yeah, I don't know. Somebody was freaking trying to fish me. Whoa, wait. I remember there was a freaking twin that, like, commented and said that they want to fish me out. Whoa. Are they here? Come out already. Where are you? Anyways. Time for the presentation. Woo! Oh my goodness. Guys, it is presentation time. And it is in a journal. Believe it or not. I like writing in journals. Journals are quite fun to keep, and especially me, since I am your personal caretaker, there are notes that I gotta take. There are things that I gotta keep in mind, you know? So, I'm gonna start with our presentation / journal for today. So, hello. It's me, Leppy. And if there's like some things that will be blocked by my big ass head and hair, don't worry, I'll make myself small and I'll just like move myself like to the side. Yo. Alright, first of all, there we go. Whoa, there we go. Now there's like things that I gotta tuck over, you know? I gotta be here. Well, like here, you know? So, about me. Hello. my name is LeppiBura, and there are multiple nicknames where you can call me, which is Leppi, Miss Leppi, Banui if you want. That's an option. I'm in my 20s, from what I last remember. I guess that I'm from like my 20s. I promise I'm not a hag. And also being hag is also beautiful. But yeah, I'm an adult. My pronouns are she, her. And my species are sea bunny slash nudibranch. Specifically, the pink dorid, which you can actually Google it up and you could see that I kind of relate to that species. My occupation is I am your personal caretaker and a home or mansion owner. There isn't a word for mansion owner, but there is a homeowner, which I count as one. Okay, whoa. Huh? What was that? Did you see that? Anyways. Ow. Okay. When it comes to my lore, did you see that? When it comes to my lore, I am your personal caretaker again. I live in a very mysterious underwater manor, or mansion, where you can call it, where I take care of lost and weary souls, where they can find rest and peace in my mansion. I was once, from what I remember, a human girl, and I vanished. From what I remember, there were a lot of like tapes and pictures and posters of a missing little girl. It's now been worn off. It looks like it's been years since it's been there. All the tapes are like cut. People like tampered with the beach, but nobody goes there anymore. So it's quite interesting. Now, I'm a sea bunny, and I welcome those who drift into my realm so I can offer you peace, sleep, and a place underneath in the sea. Hi, cool. Hello, it's good to see you. Basically, yeah. You are. You're basically my children, and I take care of you. Whenever you have a rough time, I'm here to listen. I'm here to talk. I'm here to distract you. You know, not all problems can be solved, but some people do appreciate when there's somebody who can listen to them. So, I'm here. I'm here. And that's my job. That's my purpose. And I would love to always bring you peace and comfort. And thank you. Thank you, Koo. Thank you. Next. Whoa. Well, there are some things that are like behind chat, which I can, I think, hide chat for a second so you guys can see it. And same for, what's it called? Map. No, not this. Beep. And beep. There we go. You can see for a bit, okay? I promise. It'll be there. It'll be back. So, what do I like and what do I not like? I like food, of course. Specifically, chicken fingers. And no, it's not chicken toes. Chicken fingers are like chicken nuggets, but instead of it like being like a mushed inside, it's actually like chicken pieces like cut into like cubes. And there is a specific type of restaurant that I like. And I'll not name it. Secret. It's a secret. So. And I like hot chocolate. Believe it or not. It's one of the drinks that I can like only drink, I guess. I like boba. Whether it's tea, whether it's juice, I like it. Sea bunnies. I like my kind. They're quite cute. And bunnies too. Because we all kind of look the same, honestly. If you think about it. She's just like me for real, for real. I like music. You would like see me like go all my day with like listening to music, going back and forth. I really love music. I love daydreaming. And I guess it's my way to escape problems because God, my day is like full of troubles, you know? Not all the times that I would feel okay after like comforting a poltergeist, but you know, I love hyperfixating about like certain characters and people that I see. They're quite hot, you know. I would smash. I love my friends, of course. I love you guys. I love you. You matter. I love you. Every single one of you. You're my friends. And I care about you. And you guys bring me peace and comfort. I like monsters, if you didn't know that. I love monsters. They're cool. Not monsters as a drink. I love monsters as actual like non-human creatures. I would say that I'm quite picky. I don't like love all. I'm quite picky, you know? But, you know, I have a type. And last but not least for my likes, I like anime, of course. I would prefer to watch animes more than like real life shows because, I'm not into that. What about my dislikes? I really dislike caffeinated drinks. Even when it comes to tea. Because I'm allowed to drink tea. I don't have any issues with it, but the tiniest amount of caffeine can keep me up all day. Like, genuinely all day. And I do not like it. I freaking hate airplanes. I have a phobia from airplanes. I do not like airplanes. I would rather be at the sea. I hate animes with multiple seasons. For example, and I know some people will hate me if I said like just like One Piece, you know? It's a lot of animes, like with the pacing and everything, I cannot. I would like watch an anime that has like 3 seasons, 4 seasons maximum, you know? And each season has like 12 episodes. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I really dislike ranked games. You would find me like play a lot of competitive games. Trust me, you would find me like play a lot. But competitive ranked? No, 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 no. Mm-mm. I hate that. I hate studying. I'm freaking tired. I just want to graduate like out of uni already. And I hate afternoons because generally, at most of the times where I go to sleep, my schedule's all good, everything, I suddenly see myself like waking up in the afternoon when I'm on like weekends as well. I'm not supposed to be like awake in the afternoon, especially where I live. We are considered like night owls. I would prefer to be awake at night. So I hate afternoons. And yeah, One Piece is long, so What about my hobbies? I love illustrating, of course. I love graphic designing. Some of you have seen like the assets, overlays that I make. Some of you are familiar. I love singing. You would see me sing like 24 hours all by myself with somebody humming. You're gonna see me like sing all day, every day. I love voice acting. And most of you guys know that. Like, suddenly I can just like, oh, hi guys, it's me. I am Leppy. Or, hi guys, it's me, Leppy. Whoa, what the hell was that? You know, I kind of like voice acting. I love dancing, but I prefer dancing by myself. I don't know. I don't like when people like watch me dance. I just love like, you know, jump around, go from like back and forth, do like jiggling around. I love dancing. Doing light workouts. I don't like heavy workouts, which is like that's gonna like actually make my muscles like freaking get crushed. No, I don't like those. Um, so light workouts are quite good. And last but not least, of course, most of you will know that I like gaming. Whoa. And now we move to the part for my favorite anime and games. And some of you, you don't, you don't binge. Wait, 300 pounds? Bleh. 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 Anyways, I like Kami-sama Kiss. It's one of the first animes that I've watched, and my goodness, it's so good. Inuyasha. I'm currently rewatching it. I have watched it on TV, and now I'm watching it on my phone, and it's so good. It generally like shows that there is like a certain type of animes that I like. I like Gundam Witch from Mercury. One, if not the coolest animes I've seen. And I think I love lesbians. I do. And Licorice Recoil. I have watched it recently. I loved it. I have seen the announcement that came after I watched it. They are doing like a lot of things for it. And my goodness, I am excited. I'm so excited. Like genuinely excited. So, yes. What about the games that I like? Well, there is Stardew Valley, of course. I love Stardew Valley. And my goodness, I have seen the stream yesterday and Clint was announced. I wanted to like, no, please. Why Clint? Like, why? Why Clint? Like, why Clint? I do not like it. I hate Clint. But, Sandy though. Sandy is a good option. I like it. League of Legends. I'm a Nami. And I was gifted a wonderful, what I call a statue? It feels like a statue. It feels like a trophy by the one and only Jandre. Thank you, Jandre, for the amazing Nami figurine, like huge figurine. It's on my desktop next to my other figurines, and they're so good. I love Nami. Nami main and Emilio name. Main. Main. Bleh. Genshin Impact. Specifically Raiden Shogun main as well. I've been playing Genshin Impact since day one, basically. And Final Fantasy XIV, I gotta go back to playing that game because I missed that game and I haven't subscribed since last year or something. Monster Hunter Worlds and Wilds. I unfortunately, do not like Rise that much. But Worlds and Wilds is my favorite. Oh! Oh my goodness. Alice, calm down, girl. Thank you.
Moha mentioned Alice F20 love.
I know how much you have been like hyperfixating about freaking Monster Hunter girl. I know. It's good. I want to go back. There's like the current event. I think there is like there is an event right now and I want to check it out. Terraria. Surprisingly enough, it is fun. It's quite a like unique game. I have played it unfortunately like very late in my life. So I'm not one of the OGs, but I kind of did fuck myself up with playing Calamity first. I actually started playing Terraria immediately with Calamity. And that was something. And last but not least, Apex Legends, cuz my goodness. I've also been playing like Apex Legends since season 4, I think. Yeah, I think since season 4. And I am so proud. And I think the game, as much as like it is like kind of dead right now, but you know, if you invite me, I'll play. So that's my likes, dislikes, hobbies, and favorite anime and games. Next. Whoa, there is the reference design. So you guys see the thing on the very top left? That is not you. That is not you. You may see him everywhere, but that's my bellboy. And you will see him here and there. He will show up in chat, trust me. But that's my bellboy. That's my assistant. That's not you. On the bottom, though, that is you. That is the wonderful ghost. The poltergeist is you. You know, you could have like a little fancy like hat if you want. And also, maybe you could actually like want you guys, if you want, to take an actual screenshot of the second ghost on the right, and you can give yourself like any hat or accessories. You want to give yourself like big badonks? Go ahead. You want to give yourself like horns? Go ahead. You are you. Customize yourself. Be yourself. I just gave you like a hat because you represent as a little guest coming over in my mansion. So, that's how basically the default you, I guess, that is you. And on the right, that is me. You could see that I am a sea bunny. A bunny hybrid, I guess. And there are like my tail is a rose. Or a peony, actually. It's a peony. And if you search up Moon River Peony, that's the specific type of flower that my tail is. And you could see like, oh, I'm a silly little bunny, I guess. I love me. Whoa, is it good to say I love me? So, that's me, and that's you guys, and that's my bellboy assistant that will show up from time to time. He's my alerts. He's my like bot in chat. That's him. Like for example, if you type like a command about me, exclamation mark about me, he will speak. That's him. And let's go to the next one. There we go. Thank you, bellboy. Thank you. Next. Secrets. Whoa. Everybody loves secrets. Who doesn't like secrets? So, little secrets. Did you know that you are technically stuck between life and death? Shocking, I know. But don't worry. You're not gonna die. Unless you're like feeling too peaceful, I guess. I promise. But don't worry. You can leave out of this world peacefully between my arms. Don't worry. But no, there are people who go back. Rarely, very rarely who cross the bridge. But don't worry, it's okay. After I assist you and comfort you in my mansion, people go back to the surface. Yeah, don't worry. I promise you, you're not. Word got us feeling that, so yeah, I'm sorry. I know word got you feeling like that. Second thing, did you also know that there are 2 different keys and one is extra special? So you can see that there is a special key and you'll only be able to find this on my dress, as you can see here. Wow, on my dress. And there is your key, the guest key. It's circular, kind of the same color as the special key, but the special key is heart. You know? Heart-shaped, because it's special. It's quite special. Hi, Okami! Hello! Oh my god! What the fuck? What was that spank? What? What was that? Don't do that. Well, I'll come back, Okami. Yeah. Sorry, not sorry. Huh. Okay. I see you're quite a little tough there. Okay. We will have a little conversation later. Don't worry. And last but not least, did you also know that nudie branch and sea angels are hermaphrodites? Hermaphrodites. I hope I'm like actually like pronouncing it right. Hermaphrodites. I will let you, if you don't know what that means, I will let you search that up. It's quite funny. It's a little fun fact. And it's a tiny little secret. And we're also toxic as well, so don't touch us. But don't worry, I'm not always toxic. And you can just like give me a hug. Don't worry, nothing is gonna happen to you, I promise. Hi, Orion! Oh my god! Hi! And hi, Ren! You're still at work? It's okay. Thank you so much for your message. Thank you. I don't know. Where is the bun? Technically yes. If I want to like actually like get you toxic, I guess that's an option. So yeah, there's the little secrets. There's more, of course. Well, there are the hashtags and goals. Well, of course, the most general hashtag that you will see me like posting my own art and like art of my characters or anything that I draw is seabunny. Bnuuy. That's seabunny, not seabunny, because seabunny is already taken, unfortunately. But seabunny is mine. You're gonna, if you wanna like make me a fan art, you wanna give me something, you wanna post an art that was already made for me, LeppiCaso. That's the hashtag that was made for it. Whenever I go live, there's gonna be Leppi Live. That's my live stream hashtag. So yeah, and for clips, there's clips, and I think I actually like wrote it wrong. I think it's supposed to be CLEPPS. I think I actually like wrote it wrong. Don't worry, guys. I'll fix it. I promise. I'll promise I'll fix it. And for my fan base name, you guys are my poltergeists. That's right. You are not poltergeist, not guests. You are the combination of two, which is poltergeist. How cool is that? So yeah. And as for my goals, there's so many goals that I have put, and some of them I'm slowly starting to achieve. You know? First goal, officially debut. And that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm so freaking happy. I am really, really happy. Guys, I officially debuted it. Can you believe it? I'm really, really happy. And second goal is to open more art services, and that's like coming soon. Don't worry. I right now have like commission open, but it's not really like custom ones. There are these caps, which if you type in CSM and or commission as this exclamation commission or commissions, it's gonna show you my commission page, which is Vegan. And thank you, Val. I really appreciate it. It makes me really happy. It really, really makes me happy. Third goal is get into voice acting projects. I am slowly recovering from sickness. My voice has been like kind of wonky, honestly, for the past 2 weeks. I have been sick, and Ampy can actually be confirming that because she has heard me and how many times I have like been like actually sick for almost 2 weeks now. And yeah, but don't worry, I'm better. My voice is getting better, and hopefully I'll start like actually like auditioning more. Fourth goal, bring my first live 2D child to life. And that is what I'm actually doing right now. I actually have a child that is in the making. Not a real life child, a live 2D VTuber, I promise. Ugh. And reach 300 followers on Twitch, which honestly, a pretty solid goal that I have. I will continue like streaming, growing. I'll be here to stream you guys funny games, funny moments, and hopefully my goal is to reach 300 followers. And buy a VR headset or trackers. If that's an option, I would love. You guys are gonna be like seeing me like actually like stream from VR, where I'm gonna be just like be walking around, like interacting with you guys, and it's so cool. I genuinely cannot wait to have this like goal achieved. Publish a story novel. I am actually in the making, and I can give you guys a little like sneak peek if you want, and it's quite funny. And let me see if it's actually like saved in my files, because it is a quite funny one. And I think you guys will like it. Let me see. Where is it? Ooh, let me see. Well, I think is opening my art drawing? Wait, is it opening my oh, it is opening my drawing thing. I think you guys will like it. Let me take a little screenshot and I'll show you guys. I promise I'll show. Uh, where is it? Wait. I promise I'll get it for you guys. Where is it? Oh, where is it? Whoa. OC. Wow. Let me show you guys. I got the picture. And there it is. This is the sneak peek that I can give you guys. It is currently in the making. And no, don't worry. This is not like an old woman. This is like an actual like college student. She's dressed like a grandma, yes. She has a fashion of a grandma. But she's a college student. Like 23, 24. She loves dressing like a grandma, but she's cute, you know? And trust me, there's more to come. It's just her this is her like beta design for now, not like a fully design. But that's her. Does she have a name yet? No. But I'm telling you guys that I am working on the story novel. I am working. And this is the protagonist. And I hope you guys like it so far. And I promise there is more to show, of course, but that's for later. Last but not least, graduate from university. I am tired. I am super, super tired. I do not want to like continue. Just get me out of there. It is so tiring. I'm actually kind of late. I'm quite late. And I don't want it anymore. Please, please get me out. Anyways, next. The credits. Oh my goodness. Now, thanks to wonderful, wonderful people who made this thing possible for me. I would love to thank them personally. First and foremost, Ampera Inora Ambi herself, my wonderful partner. She made me the BGMs and jingles that you guys will like hear if somebody like follows, or some of the like actual like BGMs when I switch like to screens, which in chat screen, starting screen, be right back and ending, it has those. And I'll show you guys soon, I promise. Second, Lunar Chaos, the one and only goddess. She made the old and new emotes. If you could see in chat, there are new Leppi emotes. And everyone is there. Like, everybody's emotes are there. You could see that I have a bunch now. I have a bunch. And amazing thanks for their model guidance. They have made multiple Vroid models, and my goodness, I actually struggled. Their ideas like saved my life. It was a freaking hassle. I wished I would work with Vroid like after that. Like I would work with Vroid and then like switch to another program, you know? But don't worry, Vroid is coming like better. It's becoming like a better program. So yeah. Thank you, Lunar Chaos. And third, Kanilch. Kanilch, you are a lifesaver. What Kanilch did is those ears that you see was impossible. When I say it was impossible to do on Vroid, and as well as the freaking tail. if I show you guys 1 second. Wow, I haven't shown you guys like the model from the back, kind of. Let me just turn around, I guess. Oh, oh, sorry. There we go. I have the tail. Look. And that is made by the one and only Knelch himself. And look at that. It's a freaking peony. And it looks so good. There we go. It looks so good. And that was also freaking impossible to do on Vroid. Like, not even a chance. I wasn't able to do it. Like, it wasn't even an option. It was only can be done on on Blender or any other program that supports, 3D models. Let me go back to the corner a tiny bit. There we go. Fourth is Jenny. Jenny made the Billboy emotes that you can currently use in chat right now. If you can, I think, because they are free. Like, including the flower, the bonk, not the heart one. The heart one is what I made myself. Where is it? Where's the other one? I cannot see. Oh my goodness. There we go. And the lol. There we go. Those are the emotes. They're super, super cute. So amazing thanks to Jenny. Like, they actually made it possible for me. And I love those emotes. Special thanks to Honkers. She made the also like old Leppy emotes that you could see from my 0.1. Basically my first version of my design. And as well as for Hammy. I love those two. And thank you guys for making this possible for me. Because I love those emotes. Everybody loves these emotes. And God, I'll forever be in love with them. They're so good. And last but not least, Zenzen Smile. It's an escape artist that I have commissioned for an art that most of you have seen. It is my pinned tweet on Twitter. And it's currently my Twitch profile, as you can see. That was made by the one and only Zenzen Smile. And I love their design. Me and MP have commissioned them like 2 times. And it was good. I love their art style. It's super, super cute. Genuinely. Amazing things for those people. I love you guys. Thank you for making it possible. Without you guys, Leppy would have been like quite hard to deal with, honestly. I mean, I'm having a hard time with myself, honestly. So, yeah. Next is thank yous. The thank you to all of you. And I wanna first apologize if I missed anybody's name. I promise you, it's not that I have forgotten you. No. Every single one of you, I remember you. I have a good memory when it comes to remembering people. And I promise. Unless you change your name, that's gonna be like a little hard for me. Tough. But I promise you that I remember every single one of you. Whether you're new here, whether that you have like only been lurking, I see you. I see you. I see you. So, I want to start from the beginning, of course. Amazing thanks to the one and only Ampy, my wonderful partner. To Lunar Chaos, to Lulazo, Mr. Cat, Ratebon, Pinguino, Sebastian, Vapor Plane, which is Jones, Ghosting Mars, Jay, Lyle, Debbie, Honkers, Sylvie, and that's you. Kanote, DeAndre, Alice, Elise, Crisis, Rippy, Stepbrother, Zippy, Amatsu, Hammy, Emmy, Deiji, Kizzy, Luca, Haru, Ren, Mel, Rini, and Kiki, Beans, Matcha, Setsu, Rad, Soram, Odstarva, and Dum Dum Barking, which is Orion, and he was here. He was unfortunately busy with work. Mirai, Fatis, Tony, Exo, Suzu, Azor, Radio, Val, Juju, Highwind, Emu. Of course you! Of course there's you! There's always you! Emu, Michael, Okami, Mayumi, Spence, Tran, Akari, my wonderful child, Alun, Puppet, DK, Holly Popper, Alyssa, and many, many, many more. I promise you, if I forgot your name, trust me, it's not because like I have like forgotten you. Like, no. I looked into every list that I have of people. I have scrolled all the way from Twitch, Twitter, all like socials that I could find. And I promise you, I remember every single one of you, and all of you matter. I love you guys so much, more than you could ever know. Your support for me is more than enough. It keeps me going. It like just generally brings me the motivation to do everything. So I want to thank you guys personally, you who is lurking, who is like had to leave because they were busy with job and stuff. Those who are here, I love you guys. You matter to me. I have been seeing you ever since I've been streaming, even though I have rebranded and people know that I have rebranded. And there were like a lot of issues that I had to deal with, and that's why I rebranded. And people have been there since day one. And I appreciate you. Love you guys so, so, so much. And you guys matter to me. So, thank you. And last but not least is, thank you. Thank you guys. You guys have made this possible. You guys being here shows that you're awesome sauce. You're truly awesome sauce. You're really cool. I love you. Damn. Keep going. You're really awesome. So yeah. You could see that freaking Bellboy is stupid as fuck, I guess. And I'm a dog? Whoa. I'm a dog. That's news to me. So yeah. That was the presentation. I hope you guys have learned maybe new things about me. Oh. No freaking way. God damn it. Knelch! Knelch. Okay. Whoa. Now you have seen the freaking bellboy go off. He's up there. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Knelch. And my goodness, you freaking started a hype train. Thank you, Knelch. Again. Thank you for gifting us up for Ampy, for Radio, for Azor, for Sylvie, and freaking EXO. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I really appreciate you. And again, thank you for making those beautiful ears and tail, because generally it was freaking impossible. And because I have been telling you it was freaking impossible. It's so freaking like impossible. So don't worry, stream is not done yet. I would love to show you guys what I have in my other scenes, and you will see more when I actually start like streaming more and regularly. Let me show you the Be Right Back screen, and you guys are gonna love it. That stream is not ending. I'm still here. Guys, I'm still here. Don't go. Please. That's the things that I wanted to show you. That is made by the one and only Ampy herself. The BGMs. They're there. There's one for starting soon. There's for chat, be right back, and ending screen. There is a variation of my theme song. And you guys can hear it in the background. So yeah. I really hope you guys liked it, because I have been preparing. I have been actually like freaking like sweating and rushing like before the stream started. My goodness. And thank you, Val. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Sylvie. And thank you, MP. My goodness. It's something. And I'm really, really happy. I could genuinely like say that I am genuinely so freaking happy. She's the goat. And there is a special command for her. So, please check out my wonderful partner, Ampy. There's a little goat over there. There is another goat. Yes. They may be busy, but there is another goat. An actual goat. The coolest goat. So yeah. I hope you guys really liked it. And I'm really happy. Really, really happy. I appreciate you all for being here. I love you guys. You guys made my day. I'm really, really happy. I feel like the weights on my chest have been lifted. And I can like happily announce that I will be streaming. I can actually like freaking finally stream. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Val, you didn't have to do this. Val, oh my goodness. Okay. Holy shit. Thank you for the subs. My freaking god. Oh my god. Thank you for gifting a sub to Beans, for Kami, for Shion, for Highwind, for Funny Gamer, for my bellboy. Whoa! He got a freaking sub. For Varys, for Pinguino, and for Arya, and from Tran. Thank you. Thank you, Val. I really, really appreciate it. Holy shit. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. My goodness. I'm all over the place. And please, guys, please check out Val. She is the freaking coolest Oni you'll ever see. Her streams are funny. Her streams are freaking funny, and I love them. Genuinely the coziest and the most funniest person I know. Please check out the awesome and amazing Val. I need to like shout you guys out. I've been just like busy, of course, with preparing and everything. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you again. Oh my goodness. Ooh. I'm really trying to catch my breath. I'm just really like happy. I am almost gonna cry. I've been working really hard towards it. So I'm really happy that you guys are liking it. I've been working for the past like 2 years. And one of the struggles that I had to face is that uni was the problem. Is that I barely had the time to stream, and oh my goodness, every time that I had like my summer vacation, my parents unfortunately would tell me like to go on vacation with them, you know? I was not really allowed to stay home. I would have like actually like debuted like a lot time like before. But what can I really do? My family needs me. I have to like be there with them. So of course. Thank you, Val. And Sylvie. Sylvie, thank you so much. Sweet, sweet, sweet bun girly. Thank you. And please go to bed and don't make Bun Mama mad. I really understand that. Don't worry. I understand. My mom does it too. Thank you. And please have a lovely, lovely night. Thank you so much. And don't worry. Stream will be ending soon. I think an hour and 15 minutes. I'm in 12 minutes right now, but it's okay. Thank you guys so much. You guys made it possible for me. I love you guys so much. And I'm not gonna rate. I don't feel like raiding, so it's best to finish it here, you know? Everybody is gonna be busy. Everybody has to go on with their day. I want to have my debut to be a simple thing, not a long stream for everyone to watch. For me, also like to clip and get stuff, you know? Thank you guys. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for making it possible. And hopefully, I will see you guys in the next stream. And for those who are not in my Discord yet, I will be starting to actually like post schedule there. We can chat, we can play around. I'll hopefully be starting like to, you know, do little like gameplays with everybody. Join my server if you want. And, you know, don't worry. I may be a bully, I promise. But I promise, I welcome you with open arms. That's the place. That's me. I will always welcome you with open arms. Thank you guys again so much from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys so much. And I want to give my thank yous, of course, before I go. From the beginning, thank you, Ampy. Thank you, Val, Azor, Sylvie, Highwind, Shion, Kanilch, Alice, Trash or Elise, Orion, Okami. I'm trying to really remember the names. It's been long. And thank you for the hype train. I really appreciate it. It's a really wonderful hype train. Thank you, Ren. Thank you, Lunar. Thank you, Ku. Thank you, EXO. Thank you, Highwind. Thank you, Radio. Thank you, Crisis. I hope I'm not really missing anybody, but again, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And hopefully soon, I will see you on the next stream. God knows what I'm gonna be streaming, but hopefully a game that everybody will like. So yeah, thank you guys so much. And oh, let me do something. I'll do something really funny. And I will see you guys on another stream. Bye bye. Thank you guys so much. Bye bye. Bye bye. Wow.